Hey guys, it's Jolene from Smith Nature Friendly Farms. Part of our goal as a business has been to give back in the communities that we service. So today we're at St. Andrew's Mission and we support them with their goals to provide food, free medical service to those in need, meals every day. So we're down at the St. Andrew's Missions today and in McComb, Mississippi, going and helping out to load some bags. And I wanted to show you their awesome operation, all the really good stuff that they do, and give you some of a view into their operations basically. So I'm going to flip you around and show you all of this that's going on here. So St. Andrew's Missions supports about 300 people a month. 150 come through the lineup twice a month. You can see here, this is how they go through their process. They load the bags of food, the volunteers help get all that loaded, and people just pull in. So I'll take you guys inside. And this is where the donations get stored. About a month ago I came in here and this was absolutely empty. They were really low on donations and there's a lot of call outs in the community. A lot of businesses came up to the table to help them out. It was phenomenal. They get a lot of donations. Take a peek in their freezers. They get a lot of their donations from Kroger's. Kroger's has a no waste program that's pretty fantastic and ensures that their food gets delivered and gets eaten. So kudos to Kroger's. Walmart also donates to these guys and a lot of it comes from the community. So really awesome. They have a really huge need though. So if anybody has any wonderful ideas, they have a huge need for coolers. You can see these coolers that they have here. They have a couple of them. They actually need more of them because what happens is their lineup runs about 150 cars deep. This is a residential community. So when it runs 150 cars deep, it actually blocks the houses. So then the neighbors get mad and then the police come and it becomes a bit of a stress for the poor mission. So one of the things that the St. Andrew's Mission really needs is coolers. So if anybody has any wonderful ideas or leads on the way where they could get coolers, because coolers would now allow them to store the frozen goods as they come in, because they get these massive orders in bulk. And if they could get them to come in all at once, go into freezers, they could distribute over a couple of days rather than the trucks come in and they have to distribute everything the same day. So anyways, any ideas, anything at all, anybody in the community members have, certainly appreciate it. You can donate to them anytime and I'll post those links, but they certainly are grateful to have any donations. And one of the things I thought maybe I'd show you was what was in a bag to last a person. It's really not that big.
Hey, pick that bread up, take it in there.
And that's it. Awesome guys, well you can donate if you can, always give where you can. We fully support it. Thanks everyone. Howdy. I wanted to do a follow-up to that video that you just watched to touch on a few things that I wasn't able to think of in the moment when you're filming or when I was filming at St. Andrew's Mission. I don't know how some YouTubers do it where they capture everything and they look flawless in their speaking and all of that when they're putting together all these videos, but I'm not quite in that league by any means. But I do want to make sure I touch on some things that I think are really important about St. Andrew's Mission. So I'm just going to expand on a few things and I'll try not to make it too long here for everyone. I wanted to mention what St. Andrew's Mission actually offers the community of McComb. I do touch on it, but I don't think I mentioned every key item, and I may not still be mentioning them all, but these are the ones that I do know of that I wanted to make sure I shared with everybody. So they offer counseling services, free medical clinic, thrift stores, which I think do a lot of the funding for their operations, senior centers, hot meal service, and that hot meal service can include people that come in during the day, and then as well as a delivery for people that can't leave, and food hampers. And those that get food hampers are screened through a process and then sign up for it each year. They also have a room like a what they call cat's closet, and it's a room that has clothing that you can pick up donated clothing that include clothing for maybe you need, a clean pair of socks, or maybe you need a warm coat, or perhaps that you need an outfit for an interview. And it depends entirely on what donations they've received, but they do have a very large stock of clothing. And I know some friends of ours were really spectacular and recently gave a very large donation. So to the McCaffreys, you guys are awesome for your donation. So with their Cat's Closet, they also have toiletries, which is awesome. And another thing that's really special is they have toys. So not a lot, just a small amount of toys, so that on occasion there is family members that come in, and those family members might have kids. So when kids come in, there's something small for them. In the video, I mentioned the lack of coolers. I tried to explain it. I don't know if I explained it well enough, but essentially what they need is more large commercial coolers. Their donations come in bulk, because they have such a large order and they have 150 people twice a month that they need to get the orders out to. It means that they have to give them out basically as the orders arrive. They can't store them. They don't have room. They have just enough room to put, what they're using for freezer food for cooking their meals, and what's donated, throughout the weeks. But for the most part, freezer space is really hard to come by. So anybody who has information or ideas on how to help St. Andrew's Mission get a large commercial cooler or two, that would be superb. In the video, I flashed the bag of food that people get. I really didn't, somebody threw a bag of bread at me and asked me to do something with it in the video, so I had a hard time trying to take the time to sit down and show you what's in a bag. But essentially, I thought I would just run down a list of what's in those brown bags that a person would get. So they get 4 to 6 canned goods, a box of cereal, some crackers, soup, a package of noodles, package of rice or beans, and some pudding cups. And that changes from week to week. It depends on what they have donated, what came in their shipments. It's not always the same, but it has been fairly consistent that they have, 4 to 6 canned goods and a box of cereal. I know the first week I was there volunteering, they were having a hard time getting enough boxes of cereal. So there was a bit of a scramble to have enough cereal for every bag, but they did get it in the end. They also have fruit and milk, but that's only when it's available. So the first week I was there was no fruit or milk. The second time I was there was no milk, but there was some fruit, and there was cheese one of the times I was there as well. So again, it can fluctuate, it can be different. They get 3 items, meat items, frozen meat items. And those are thanks to Kroger's no waste program. So when you think about big businesses, really think about Kroger's fondly, because their no waste program is having a ton of benefit in all of the communities, not just in McComb, but any community that Kroger's exists in. As part of their program, they're donating food and not allowing it to go to waste, and communities are benefiting from that. So really huge shout out to Kroger's grocers. The first time I volunteered, there was nothing on their shelves. They were having a rough time. So, there's different times of the year, especially, summer times I think are most difficult for these places. Christmas time, everybody gets in the spirit and thinks about other people, the good Christmas classic of donating to the poor, and that comes out. But that might get lost in the summertime, and those months are difficult. So at any time, really, where it's possible for you, do consider donating food. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the people that they serve. It can be anybody. Do not have any judgments about the type of people that are looking for donated food or any kind of support from their community. It can be a person, it can be a single mom, a single dad, it can be a veteran, it could be somebody with disabilities, it could be somebody going through a hard time. It can be anybody. It can be male, female, old, and young. It's honestly, it's not an easy thing for any of them. So they go through a process, they've got to get approved, then they're going to go wait in line for 4 hours for a bag of groceries. This isn't anything anybody really wants to do. It's something that somebody has to do, because that's what's going to feed their family or feed them for the next couple of days. So think kindly of donations and opportunities to share with those in need. You never know when that moment could hit you. One gentleman in particular really touched my heart the first time I was there. He was an older gentleman. It's in Mississippi, so it's hot. It was, I think, 80 plus degrees, high 80s, and he walked there. I don't know how far he walked. Might have been just down the block, but he did walk. And he had a cane, and his cane was like just a garden stick, not like a store-bought cane. And when he got there, he was so hot and tired, he asked if he could sit down. And the people at St. Andrew's Mission were so kind, took him inside and moved the boxes around and put a place for him to sit, and he sat there. And as he sat there, he said, "I sure wish for some peanut butter." And that really touched me, because you think about all the things when you get up in the morning, you know, what do you wish for? And I wonder how many of us actually sit down and say, "I wish for peanut butter." So they were kind, super kind. We didn't have enough peanut butter in the bags for everybody that week. It wasn't, the shelves were really low, but they did have a couple of peanut butter on the shelf, and they did give him a peanut butter. So they made his day and made his wish come true, and he had peanut butter. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure he wishes for lots more than peanut butter. We all do, but it was very kind that they were able to come up with peanut butter for him. But it's donations like that that can really make a difference to these charities that are helping these people with need, with real need. It's somebody's grandpa, you know, like this gentleman. That's what it made me think of. He's somebody's grandpa, and if it were my grandpa, whew, no, I don't want him to go without peanut butter. Okay, so what else I want to cover off? Oh, how you can help. This is a really important one for sure. Even if you aren't in McComb, Mississippi, whatever community you're in, look for a place like St. Andrew's Mission. It could be a church group. It could be a non-church related. Don't, by any means, it doesn't have to have any kind of religion associated to it. Giving, it doesn't need anything. It just needs you. It just needs people. So find your local food service or food hamper place, or any kind of place that you can volunteer that helps feed the hungry. Sign up, volunteer. Donate food wherever you can, canned goods. I'll give you a quick list of items that you can donate that are very helpful, but donate where you can. It certainly makes a huge difference. You might think, well, I'm only spending $10 and getting you 10 packs of craft dinner. Well, it still makes a difference. That's 10 packs of craft dinner they didn't have yesterday. So every bit adds up. Promote their need. Honestly, this is huge. So you might not have, you in your own self might have your own challenges. You may not, financially, you're barely getting by yourself. Maybe you're working 2 jobs and you can't volunteer and you don't have any time. The simplest thing you can do is share their need. Places like this just need an audience to reach the right person that maybe suddenly has the ability to fill that need. So if you can, if you see them on Facebook, like their pages and share their pages and share their messages, and definitely share when there's a call out to fill their shelves. Things to donate. These things work quite well for them for donations. Pasta, rice, beans, lentils, lunch items for kids, canned meals, cereals, cans of tuna, peanut butter, nuts, and toiletries and socks. There's lots of other items too, but those ones really can make a big difference in helping them provide kind of like a sustained level of food. I will post a message, or I'll post the links at the end of this to St. Andrew's Mission in McComb. So by all means, if you have the capabilities to donate or want to learn more about them, you can click on their links. If you're outside the Mississippi area, then I'll leave that to you guys to hunt down some great community options for looking into. And I want to say a huge thank you out to the St. Andrew's Mission team. There's a couple of employees, and then there's a lot of volunteers, and these are such dedicated people. Like, even though they're employees, they volunteer just as much as they work. Like, these are hardworking, dedicated people to St. Andrew's Mission. They're really awesome. I've met some of the nicest people through St. Andrew's Mission. So really, really lots of kudos to them. They're angels. Our mission will continue at Smith Nature Friendly Farms. We will continue to focus on, wherever possible, giving back in our community. We think it's a huge part of what I think people should do. If it's in your business, whether it's in your life, wherever possible, ensure that you give back. So I think that's enough. I've spoken for 11 minutes, probably too long, but just everyone be kind, be friendly, take care.